Live. All right. We are live on YouTube. Can you hear me clearly and see me clearly? I'm sorry for the delayed start. I had to run a quick errand before this unexpected, you know, personal life comes into play when you're doing YouTube stuff, right? It happens, right? And the best thing you can do is just apologize to your audience and ask for forgiveness. Because forgiveness is something amazing, because nobody's perfect, folks, not even myself. I'm the furthest thing from perfection. If that's what you're seeking here, you're at the wrong place. Anyway, let's see here. The Queen is here, you're good. That's beautiful. And Holly, hopeful and blessed. I saw you come in here a little earlier and do some moderation. Thank you for that, ma'am. I appreciate it. Hopefully you and your husband and your children are having a wonderful Sunday in your neck of the woods. I certainly am having a beautiful day, or a great day here where I'm at in Redwood City. It's 80 degrees. Couldn't ask for any better weather. This is great weather to take a walk at my, hang on a second here. My cord's a little bit off. At my favorite location, Bar Island. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous day. Look, you tell me, is it gorgeous or what? I'm gonna give you the perspective as I walk in. This is my perspective walking in. Folks, if you're not getting out there on gorgeous days like these and getting a nice walk in to stay healthy and fit, that's half the battle of feeling good, looking good, and being healthy and staying healthy, right? You tell me. I'm here to just give you a friendly nudge, a little motivation, right? Like I've always said, I'm not here to tell people what to do. I'm here to help and motivate people get what they want. Within reason, of course. If you're gonna do something shady, I'm not gonna help you with that. If you're gonna play games, I'm not gonna help you with that. But if you're a good human being and you wanna have a good life and you're struggling to figure out certain aspects, I can help you and I wanna help you. I just wanna give you a friendly nudge or a friendly push along the way, so you can accomplish whatever it is that your heart or hearts desire. Let me see here. Hello, Holly, hopeful and blessed. She says, hello, Queen. How you doing, Holly? Again, if you just tuned back in, thank you for moderating the chat before before I went live. I appreciate that. You know, folks, in life, if you take the time to get to know people and you build great relationships with people you can trust, it makes life that much easier and better. You want to build lasting, sustainable friendships and relationships with people. That's what's going to get you further ahead in life. That's what's going to bring you happiness and sustain happiness. Today, I have a great topic here to discuss. And so I don't butcher it, before I get to it, I'm going to ask Holly and or queen, if you can just copy and paste the topic so I don't butcher it. I want to read it exactly. I know what I want to talk about, but when I'm on the go out here, I don't have my laptop. It's just myself, my selfie stick, my iPhone 12 Pro Max, and that's that. So if you can put in the topic in the chat, I'll get to it in a few. But before I get to that, I'm going to be doing a second show tonight from the studio a few hours after I'm done with this walk. This should be about an hour and a half walk or so approximately. And it's going to be on a very interesting topic. It's going to be involving, women in their 40s. Why are they still single, never been married, and have no kids and want kids, especially if they're sexy? I mean, I'm going to figure out, the perfect title for it. I'm just letting you know what it's going to be about. I haven't, finalized the title. I have to get it to fit within 100 characters, for YouTube and for the simulcast on Facebook. But it's going to be about women in their 40s that are very attractive, sexy, got a great job, they have their own homes, their own cars, and even at 40 years old, they still say that they want kids in their profile. Single, never been married, no kids, and they want kids, and they have a great job, and they're sexy. I have a profile that I came across on Match.com earlier this morning as I was, sifting through the singles. And I saw her picture, and I'm like, okay, she's sexy, but what does she bring to the table? And then I read her 3-paragraph, let's just call it a rant. And I was like, no, thank you. It always makes me wonder when a 40-year-old sexy woman that looks younger than her age, that has her job, has a good job, and, is single, never been married with no kids, I always wonder, why are they still single? Isn't every thirsty man out there and non-thirsty man out there trying to connect with her? I'm sure they have. And I'm sure they've come across the same issue I'm going to be sharing with you folks tonight. When I read this woman's profile, I was like to myself, ma'am, if you don't change that up, like completely just do a 180 on that profile and change your attitude, you're going to be alone for the rest of your life, no matter how hot you are. You better be going out there to the shop and buying yourself a bunch of toys. I need to be quiet, somebody's coming in. Wanted to hear me talking about toys that only women will have to continue using for the rest of their lives if they don't change their attitude and how they approach men nowadays. I'll tell you right now, there's no man, I don't even think the beta males would give this woman a chance. This is how bad this is. You hear the wind? How in the world do you hear the wind? I'm plugged in. Hang on a second here. There's no way the wind should be coming through. Give me a second. Let me unplug this. And plug it back in. Give me a second, please. All right, do you hear the wind now, Queen, or is the wind done with? Let me know. Are we good? when I tap this, do you hear me tapping this? Can you hear it? Let me know if you can hear me tapping this as you see it on the screen. Yes, I hear the tap. Okay. All right, we should be good. Yeah, keep me in the loop. Let me know. I need to find a better solution for this, but I found a temporary one. You know, we'll figure it out along the way. It's all good. How long was the wind coming in for? Was it for a while or just a little bit? So anyway, like I said, it's going to be an interesting profile I'm going to be sharing. And Queen, this woman has a similar thought process as you do. But let me tell you why I respect you, Queen, and don't respect this woman when you both have a similar outlook on things. That's the clue I'm going to give you, folks. You know why I respect you, Queen? I respect you, Queen, because you're honest. You've also said, okay, you were married once, you've had your kids, and you said you're done with men, which, you know, I hope for the best for you, and who knows, maybe one day you'll change your mind and have happiness and find someone. But if you don't want to, that's your choice. I respect the fact, Queen, that you come out and you are who you are, and you also understand that probably a lot of men aren't going to put up with that. I respect that, Queen, because you own it. You own it, right? This is why I can respect certain people that do the same thing as other people that I don't respect. It all depends on whether they own it or not, or just accept themselves for being that way, and also accept that, hey, if I put myself out there this way, I'm probably going to have a very difficult time getting what I want, if I even ever get what I want at all, right? All the trolls are bored this Sunday. They have no other content to watch. Oh, wait. That's right. The others don't have content. It was for a little bit, says Queen, the win. Okay, cool. I'm glad it's back now. It should be good. Yeah. Holly, hopeful and blessed. I'm not really concerned or focused on the trolls. I don't care what they do. That's why there are mods here, and you mods can say whatever you want. I support you. You know how to mod the chat. You take care of them, and, you know, just we move on, right? But I'll acknowledge it because it's pretty sad. It's sad because, look, I don't let this stuff get to me anymore, right? And I just ignore it. I see these people popping in the chat, and they know I see them, right? And it's the same people still trying to get my attention, and it's just not working. It's not going to happen. I don't care what you say or what you do. What I will say is this. I will say this to the person that was re-uploading my full streams. You made the right choice of deleting them right before I was going to copyright strike you. I don't want to do that. I just want to leave you folks alone, which I have been, and you go do your thing and I do mine, right? But if you go back on your word where you promised that you weren't going to do it and you do it again, I got to do what I got to do. You're forcing my hand. At the same time, you're trying to create drama content because you're running out of it, right? They're running out of drama content. Their audience is getting bored. They themselves are getting bored. And instead of them using their talents to create great content that's sustainable long term, kind of like the topic here is. And ladies, if you haven't put the topic in the chat again, please put it in the chat. I'm going to get to it in a second. Instead of them focusing on using their actual talent and creating something sustainable long term, they're desperately trying to suck people back into drama. It's comical and pathetic and ridiculous, right? I'm out here in beautiful Redwood City, California. It's 80 degrees. I'm taking a nice walk on my favorite trail. What are you doing? Sitting at home on your ass, trolling? Does that fulfill your wants and needs? Does that fulfill the void that you're missing? How fulfilling is that? Right? It's kind of like a drug, right? It's kind of fulfilling, right? And then once it wears out, you have to go out there and find the next best drug, right? So that's why they came here, Holly and Queen, trying to suck me back in. It doesn't work. I'm just laughing at it. And using them for content, for example, purposes regarding my current topic. But yeah, that stream coming up from the studio later tonight, a few hours after I'm done with this walk, is going to be great, Queen. And you're going to, Queen, I think you're going to, for the most part, agree with what this woman wrote, but I completely disagree. And again, the reason why I can respect you for feeling the same way she does and not respect her for feeling that same way is because you own it, Queen. Queen, you own who you are. And you're not ashamed to admit who you are. What's there not to respect about that, right, Queen Helen Casey? Right, Holly, hopeful and blessed? What's there not to respect about someone who owns who they are, good, bad, or indifferent, right? It's a beautiful day. Are we still good with the sound? Thank you, Holly, for putting the topic in there. I appreciate it. Some people can't think to look in the mirror for fear of what they will see looking back at them. Queen says yes. Thank you, Queen. Another thing, Queen, you're one of the most consistent people. Same with you, Holly. But Queen, you're like the only person. You're like, I think, one of the few, if the only one, that's been loyal to our friendship. You've never once left. You went behind the scenes for a little while because of the actions of some, crazy troll out here. But you were always communicating behind the scenes. And then when you figured out, okay, there's no threat here, it's over, it's done, it's stupid, you came back. What's there not to respect about that? And Holly, I know you went back and forth a few times, but you had to have a little more time to realize what was really going on, and you're just trying to grow your YouTube channel. You're just trying to make good friends, right? And then after you saw the same patterns over and over and over again, you realized what was really going on. Anyway, let's get to the topic here today, folks. Let's get this show on the road. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, the Walking with Purpose live edition. Live from the SF Bay Trail, the San Francisco Bay Trail, here at Bar Island in beautiful Redwood City, California. Who wants to come out here and join me on a walk? As a woman that lives nearby, I have no problems with her. I think she's cool, but, she just likes to troll. She lives about an hour away from me. I'm not going to mention her name, but you folks know who she is. She's actually stalked me at my park, Red Morton Park, when I used to do streams. But that's okay. I forgave her for that, right? And this woman, this morning, I got recommended one of her streams where she was doing a live stream from her bathtub with a panel. What's that called? Bathing with purpose? Everybody copies me, right? Ma'am, I'm not going to mention your name or your channel name, but you know I'm talking about you. If you want to go with the bathing with purpose thing, ma'am, go for it. I don't know what YouTube's going to think about it. You know, they might take that down for inappropriate content. Now, I know you're not showing your entire self, ma'am, because then your channel would get shut down, but you'd never know. But that's bathing with purpose, right? Bathing with bubbles and drama. Hey, Holly, hopeful and blessed. You know who I'm talking about, right? I'm sure you probably still kind of follow some people, right? I don't. I just get recommended these videos because YouTube thinks that that's my audience. So they keep recommending me stuff. I mean, I try to tell them, don't recommend this, and they still do, right? Bathing with bubbles and drama. Yeah. That sounds so joyous, right? That sounds splendid. To bathe with bubbles and drama on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. I have better things to do. Running a live stream from the bathtub with a panel. Man, I've seen it all out here. Hey, if it works for you, if it validates you, if it makes you feel good about yourself, then hey, to each its own, right? All right, this is episode number 120, Walking with Purpose Live edition, episode number 120, and the topic is, do you consider the long-term effects of your current actions? Do you consider the long-term effects of your current actions? From what I've noticed in my life, when dealing with people, and in life you're going to deal with people all the time, because without people, I think there's no point to life. If you were the only person on the planet, how much fun would that be? What would be the point? The point of life is to bond and connect with people for whatever reason, whether it's a romantic relationship, friendship, business, partnership, collaboration, or something of that sort, right? But from what I've noticed, by most people that I've encountered in life, is that they think of the now and they don't think of the future, right? They think of how to make something happen as quickly as possible. Whether it involves relationships, whether it involves business transactions, or anything else they're trying to accomplish in life. But with every choice that you make in life, you have to understand there could be consequences. And if those consequences don't happen right away, those consequences will hit you in the future. And it's those delayed consequences of your actions from the past that are going to hit you the hardest. I think one of the best examples I can give regarding this, because we're on YouTube, let's just start off with the YouTube example, right? You have YouTubers out here that initially came out here to run their business and create a certain type of videos, right? When that wasn't taking off as fast for them, and they saw other people getting more traction, making more money, doing some more cringy drama type of content, they flipped their script. They're like, you know what? Screw this. I mean, I really love doing this, but nobody's watching me. But if I just start to stir up the pot and do some stupid, crazy things, maybe go out there and intentionally antagonize other YouTubers and get into these beefs back and forth, I'll start getting more attention, I'll build an audience, and I'll make a lot of money doing it. But is that what these people really wanted to do? Or did they feel that was the only choice they had? Right? But what I've always said is that when you do something like that, it's not sustainable long term. But these people don't think about that when they're doing it. They're thinking about how maybe for a year they ran a YouTube channel putting out real content, and instead of working hard another year or two and building something sustainable off of something real and non-drama type of content, they say, screw it, I'm going to do this because I see a lot of other people making money quicker this way and easier, right? And this is something that I can just roll with and make endless amounts of cash and just, do something that's going to get me more traction. But again, two things. Do you really enjoy doing it? Or are you just doing it for the money? And even if you don't enjoy doing it and you own that and you're doing it just for the money, how sustainable is it long term? You might be able to do it for a year or two, maybe 3. But after that, when people realize that you're nothing but a blood-sucking leech drama queen or drama king, and I even call the men drama queens, because drama is not a masculine trait, right? Do you not realize it's not sustainable long term? That's what I'm trying to say. Do you not realize that, right? It all comes to an end because people eventually get tired of the same old thing, right? When you're focusing on drama, for example, drama is the same thing, it's just with different people, right? It's the same thing, okay? I attack one YouTuber, they attack me back, right? We go back and forth, right? It creates cringy entertainment for an audience that loves that, right? And then they donate, right? And I'm going to change it up by just attacking different people every so often, right? Well, after a while, it doesn't matter how many people you do that to, right? It gets old. There's no value there. It's not interesting anymore. To me, quite frankly, it was never interesting in the first place. But to a drama audience, it's initially interesting, right? So the way I want to start this show off is say to those people out here on YouTube or on social media that like to create drama to get attention or put out sexy pictures seeking validation to get all eyes on you. Are you looking at the now? Or are you taking the future into consideration? Because honestly, it sounds like you're looking for the now. You want instant validation, you want instant success. You want to be, in the spotlight. And you're trying to do anything to get there instead of working hard at it and making it sustainable. These people, they don't look ahead into the future. They don't take into consideration what their current actions are going to do to affect them in the future, right? And then what happens? All of a sudden that day comes where it all starts to crumble, right? It all starts to crumble, right? Now, Holly, hopeful, and blessed. For example purposes only. You know, the people that were trolling me earlier today are people that I know. And I've been ignoring, and I'm going to continue ignoring them. But why are they here? Why are they here? They got nothing better to do. They've got no other content. I will say this. Every so often, you know, I'm unsubscribed from all of them. Every so often, I will just go and see what kind of content they're putting out and how much they're putting out. I don't watch it. I just look to see if they're putting out content and what the title says. You know why? Because I want to see how sustainable they currently are compared to how they were when I was feeding into them and some other people were feeding into them, right? You see what's happening? You see what's happening? These people are beginning to realize that, well, Coach Eli was the main character in all this, right? And if he's not playing into this or feeding into this, doesn't matter what we do. Nothing besides that gets us anywhere nearly the amount of traction that the Coach Eli stuff did, right? So they're here trolling me like sick puppy dogs, trying to beg me to come back. And I'm never coming back. And again, this is just for example purposes to try to teach people this is what happens. And again, these people, they have the capabilities of creating great real content. All of them. And most of them, if not all of them, are phenomenal video editors like me. I'm a great video editor. I haven't done many pre-recorded videos lately, but I'm more than capable of doing it. And these people know it. And I know they're capable of doing great editing jobs too. So why aren't they focusing on that? Well, because like I said, they want the satisfaction and gratification now. They want to be validated. All of them have fallen. By the way, can you hear me, Queen? Am I windy or am I normal? And by the way, we've got some birds here. Look at this, Queen. Can you see them, Queen and Holly? Or anyone else here? Wow, this is awesome. They're running. They can feel me coming. They can see me coming. There's one right there. Can you see them, Queen? Is it clear? You let me know. I'll check the chat in a second. You ladies love nature and the animals in nature, right? This is the best part of these walks, just seeing the animals being out in the fresh air, being out in the wetlands, which are not that wet right now in this area because it's summertime. There won't be a future the way this country is being destroyed. I can almost agree with you on that, Queen. They have no motivation. They want it the easy way. Nothing comes easy. Queen says yes. Holly says yes. Okay, great. Yeah. And that's the point of this stream here, is that all of these people, not just the people I used to be involved with, the people that you know are still trolling me, a lot of people, they live their life this way. They live their life for the now. What can I get now? How quickly can I get it, right? Instant gratification, right? And it crosses their mind that they could build something better, but when they realize how much time and effort they'd have to put into it compared to what they're getting out of doing the drama stuff, the quick and easy drama stuff, it motivates them, right? Again, I want to put out a message to these trolls because I actually know these people. I know them by name. I know exactly who they are. So are they really trolls? No, they're actual people, right? But I'll put it out to you this way. Why don't you just start making the change today and showing us what you're really made of and showing us what you really have to bring to the table besides endless nonsensical drama that you feel is fueling your narcissistic supply of attention today, and it's not going to be sustainable long term. Why don't you start creating something sustainable long term and show us what you're really made of? You know why? Because I know the capabilities that you folks have. And I'm not just saying this to that one drama audience that still loves to troll me. I'm saying this to everyone out there in general. You all have special gifts. You all have special talents deep within. And in today's modern world of technology, the internet and social media and YouTube, you have outlets to expose and put out that greatness in ways unlike ever before. And you're wasting your time and energy on nonsense. On nonsense. It's complete nonsense. You don't have to listen to me, none of you. Nobody has to listen to me, right? For the people that do, and they start focusing on their purpose and what they're good at, they can start building something today that maybe within 1 to 3 years will turn into something incredible and sustainable, right? For those people, this is what my message is for, right? And even for the people that don't really like my message and are just gonna, sulk in their misery by creating endless amounts of drama. Maybe just one day, maybe you'll listen to a person like me. It could be me or anyone else that puts out a positive message and is trying to uplift you and say, hey, you're worth it. You're worth a lot more. You're worth a lot more than you think you are. And you have a lot more potential than what you're currently putting out there, right? I always say, what you put out, you get back, right? If you're putting out drama and instigating drama, right? That's all you're going to have in your life. So if you're someone that wants to have a happy life and maybe have a great relationship, right? And live happily ever after, you think focusing on drama is going to get you that? I'm saying that in general. You only get back what you put out. You put out drama, you're going to get drama. You put out positivity, you're going to get back positivity. But when you're positive at the same time, you're going to get some negativity from the people that wish they could be as happy about themselves as you are about yourself, right? So when you're a happy, positive person, you are going to attract positive people in your life, but you're also going to attract people that are jealous and wish they could be like you. I say that respectfully. It's the truth, right? Why else would people come at good people like me? Why else would they do it, right? I'm a positive, happy person. What is the only reason an unhappy person would try to talk smack to a happy person? Why would anyone want to talk smack to, why would an unhappy person want to talk smack to a happy person? Because they wish they could be as happy as me or as happy people, right? There's no other reason, right? If I was instigating drama, right, they'd be coming at me in a different way. They'd be looking at me at their level, saying, okay, I'm a drama shit disturber, and he is too, so let's just go back and forth drama style. But when you're not a drama person and the drama people see you and wish they could be like you, they come at you and they try to kick you down. They try to kick you down because They wish they could be like you. They wish they could create greatness like you, right? I'm not going to go to the observation deck, folks, because there are people up there. But give me a second here. We've got a plane coming. I don't know if you can see that. I'm trying to focus it right on the plane. It's going to the San Carlos Airport nearby. Beautiful. All right, let's start heading back. Give me a second here. So again, I ask you folks, do you consider the long-term effects of your current actions? Let's talk about something else outside of drama. Let's talk about health. Do you know, folks, how you treat your body, your mind, your heart, and your soul when you're younger? It's going to affect you as you get older, right? You know, the more you abuse yourself and your health when you're younger, even if you turn your health around, it's going to have some effects on you as you get older. Let me share an example regarding my health, which has been pretty good for the most part. Let this kid go by here. Young kid, probably about 8 years old, has a bike with training wheels on it, and he's just moving it very slowly on the trail. Man. And he looks like he's in okay shape. There's no reason why he should be walking that bike. He should be riding that bike or walking. It's a bad sign to me when an 8-year-old kid is dragging a bike and I'm a 47-year-old man, still with a partial herniated disc, which is almost healed, like 99+%. I'm going to share more about that in a second. I'm a 47-year-old grown-ass man with still a partial herniated disc, walking this trail quickly with a selfie stick in my hand and microphone on my face, and I'm carrying probably about maybe 10 pounds here. That's a bad sign to me. If that kid doesn't do something about it to the point of where he can ride his bike even with training wheels on a 3-mile path, it's easier to ride a bike. If he can't even do that and he's dragging his bike, there are some serious health issues either already there or are going to happen. Wow, man. That's a beautiful woman. She's seeing me with my selfie stick and my headset. Gave me a little smile. She's probably like laughing, right? She's probably saying, dude, don't even think about it. Ma'am, I'm just enjoying the beauty. It's all good. I'm not a thirsty simp or a beta male, but if a beautiful woman walks on by, I'm not a dead man. Oh, Jesus, man. It's all good. And I'm covered up because I don't want to get sunburned. Like, what I should do is put on some sunscreen and wear some short sleeve shirts, but instead of doing that, I'll typically even wear a long sleeve shirt just so I don't get burned, even on a warm day. But I wear breathable workout outfits. But anyway, so how has my health been affected, based on how I neglected myself in the past? Let's go back 4 years ago to when I first came out here on YouTube. I didn't know the court of public opinion. I didn't know about trolls and haters. And I got caught up with some pretty nasty people, and some pretty nasty back and forths happened. I would scream from the top of my lungs. I would get really triggered. My heart rate would elevate. My stress level went through the roof, unlike anything before. My blood pressure went up. And if you think that had nothing to do with me herniating my disc, you're out of your damn mind. That weakened my system a little bit, to the point of where I believe it was on a hiking trail where I herniated my disc, because my system was weakened with endless amounts of stress feeding into nonsensical drama. I tell you folks, stress is a big time killer. And just because when you're younger you can yell from the top of your lungs and you can put your body through a lot more stress, doesn't mean your body is going to sustain all that stress as well when you get older. Your body starts to wear down like tires on a car. Can you ladies still hear me without any wind or anything? I want to make sure. I just kind of popped my my little dongle on the right. I'm thinking it's still okay. And to this very day, now I'm feeling a lot better. Obviously, I'm out here on the trail, I'm walking, and I'm fine. And like I've said, I'm about 99.5% healed on the herniated disc, but I could still feel it a little bit. And who knows, maybe for the rest of my life, I'll feel it a little bit. But here's the thing. Once you have an injury like that, even if you heal, you have a greater chance of re-injury. Even if you do everything right, you got to be careful. We're on the trail here. We got the bird. Look at this. This is up close and personal. Wow, this is amazing. Can you ladies see this up close and personal? This is great. You looking for food? Wow. This is amazing. I think they've seen me here before, so they trust me. A second here. Just a second. Give me a second here, folks. Need to fix this. Hold on. All right. Just enjoy this for a second, folks, while I just fix this. All right, we should be good. It's the Wookiee testicle. Yeah, where's Riff Magos been lately? I was wondering about that kid behind you myself, LOL. Yeah, I look at those things. I look at those things, right? And that's where all the problems start. When you're younger, how you treat yourself, your body, you know? Do you eat healthy? Do you get your exercise, right? Daily or regularly, right? Are you dealing with lots of stress, or are you handling things respectfully, professionally, and maturely? Now, when you're younger, you're not as mature, but are you well-mannered? People don't understand that what you do when you're younger, or what you even do right now, is going to affect you in the future, right? Whether it's involving your health, whether it's involving a business decision, whether it's involving dating a woman as a man because she's hot and not getting to know who she really is. And because of that, she leads you on to believe for a year or two that she loves you, and then she's sucking all your resources up in the meantime, and then she leaves you because you were thinking about the now and you weren't thinking about the future. You didn't take into consideration that just because she's hot doesn't mean she's good for you, right? A lot of people don't realize the repercussions of their current actions in the future. Nobody wants to think about anything going wrong possibly until it goes wrong. It's kind of like the FBI, your local PD, right? Or any law enforcement agency. You call them up saying there's a threat, I'm scared for my life, and they don't care until after you're dead, right? Once you're dead, they're at your front doorstep, right? You don't want to look at your life or anything that you do in life or any action you take in the current moment like the police do, because if you do it that way, which most people do, you're going to have repercussions either shortly or down the road at some point. What you do right now, this very moment, is going to affect you 5 minutes from now, 5 days from now, 5 months from now, or even 5 years from now. Do you folks ever think about it that way? As I get older, one of the most important things that I know is going to keep me healthier and alive longer is staying healthy and is staying fit, staying in shape, not being overweight, not getting diabetes because it runs in my family. But how many men and women in their 20s and 30s, and even some in their 40s, say, I'm still young enough. I'll lose the weight eventually. For now, I'm still going to party and eat a bunch of crap and drink like a fish, right? Drink alcohol like a fish, right? And I'll eventually take care of it in the next couple years, right? Next thing you know, over those next couple of years, you start to decline, depreciate. Maybe something happens to you unexpected internally within your body that affects your health, kind of like what happened to me with a herniated disc. Maybe it might be worse for you. Maybe you have a seizure or something. You never know what's going to happen. If you want the best chance of living a happy and healthy life, you have to think of the future consequences right now before you take your current action or any actions that you take. When I was younger, I used to more so want instant results. I hadn't grown up yet. I hadn't fully matured yet like I have today. So trust me, I know why people want instant satisfaction and gratification, right? I know why people do things currently for the now instead of thinking for the future. All right, so that little kid is back there. And I'm going to sit here and wait until he passes by because there's something wrong. So I don't know if that kid has autism or something. There's something not right there. He keeps stopping on the trail. Maybe he's a little bit out of shape. I can't tell. But at that age, there's no reason. There's no reason why. The energy's not there for him to. Yeah, this whole thing. Okay. Give me a second here, folks. Okay, now that kid in the training wheels just blew right past me. I don't get why he keeps stopping. That little kid is slender, 8 years old at the most. And as a 47-year-old man, I would outbike his ass and probably outrun his ass. That's the shape I keep myself in. Was he waiting for his dad? No, I mean, his dad and his, I guess, brother, I guess it's a family, they passed him, and he just stopped all of a sudden. Maybe he's just learning how to ride a bike with training wheels, and maybe he's learning to use muscles he hasn't, and it's making him tired. But again, I have energy at 47. Can you imagine how Eli was at 8 years old? Can you folks in the chat imagine, excuse me, can you folks in the chat imagine how I was at 8 years old? Give me a second here. I've got a nice Halls drop. I like to use Halls drops when I'm out in the open because it's a high pollen season, and it keeps my nasal passages clear and my throat all nice and clear. I just wanted to pull it out of my pocket and pop one in my mouth. Now, sound check one more time. Can you ladies, do you ladies hear wind or no wind? And do you hear me tapping the microphone? Just gorgeous. Yes, you're good. I have to use I use Flonase as well. I use Flonase, and I also use Allegra. And I use Halls. Like, seriously, I didn't even know this till I got older. But I've had major allergies all my life. That's been like one of my most major issues. I'm very, very sensitive to pollen. And because this year has one of the highest pollen counts in history, man, I tell you, it's been rather interesting. That's why, when you see me on my in-studio streams clearing my throat every now and then, it's because of the high pollen season. So I try to keep a lot of liquid in my system, and, I use the right medication, and, every so often you still have to clear your throat. But yeah, it's just been one of those years. But yeah, I've always had pretty bad allergies. Even then, it doesn't stop me from getting out here and smelling the fresh air and enjoying life. I don't let that stop me. Just taking it in for a second, folks. I'll get back to the topic in just a second here. It's a nice breeze. My car's temperature gauge said 80 degrees right when I got outside. Right now it's probably about 75 or so on the trail. That attractive woman just walked on by. So I was just letting her walk on by so I don't interrupt her. Plus, there's a better view when you're... Never mind. Let's keep it professional. Professional, respectful, and mature, right? And I'm a good guy, don't get me wrong. I love a beautiful woman, and I love the intimacy and tearing it up in the bedroom with the right woman, but it has to be with the right woman, though. Like, for me, like, I don't enjoy intimacy unless I'm with someone that I enjoy as a person outside of that. And that's another aspect right there we can talk about. Like, I was kind of mentioning it earlier. You know, a lot of guys and gals nowadays, they look for the quick fix. They look to find someone that's super sexy. They go on apps like Tinder and Bumble and other swipe left, swipe right apps, and they just connect with somebody based on looks, right? And they get together and have sex, and the sex is probably great, right? And then they try to get together a second time, and maybe the sex is great again too, but there's no third time. Why? Because if there's nothing beyond the initial sexual attraction and excitement, and even if the sex is good, there's nothing more, right? The thrill dies. The only way the thrill continues is if you, the man and the woman, have something more to bring to the table on a mental and emotional and spiritual level as well. Without that, it's just sex. And yeah, it might be fun once or twice with someone that you don't bond with mentally, emotionally, or spiritually. But after that, you're going to get bored, right? And a lot of people just don't think about that, right? And then they get caught up in this endless loop of swiping left and right and hooking up with multiple people, right? And then you have men and women with triple-digit body counts after their 20s, or maybe halfway through their 20s, right? And you have to look at it, is living your lifestyle in this way, you know, going to affect you down the road? Absolutely. How can it affect you? Well, the more people you sleep with, especially if you're not using protection, which most people hate protection, right? Let's be real about it. You have a greater chance of getting some sexually transmitted disease like AIDS or herpes or gonorrhea or syphilis or anything like that, right? But do we think about the future consequence of that? Or are we just thinking about how hot that woman is and how good my thing would feel in her, right? Your current actions affect your future. Everything you do right now, this very moment, and anything you do in the future is going to affect the future after that. It's going to affect you in some way, shape, or form. That's why I do these streams, to get you folks to think a little bit more clearly before any action you take regarding all aspects of your life. Think about the repercussions. Okay, let's talk about another one. You see that freeway over there? That's Highway 101. The Bayshore Freeway, they call it, right? Because where I'm standing here, used to be part of the SF Bay like 40 plus years ago, before I was born. Now it's turned into the wetlands, right? And the bay is further east. So where I'm standing right now used to be part of the San Francisco Bay. That's why they called it the Bayshore Freeway, because the water used to go right up to where the fence is over there. Okay? Now, in the East Bay area, they call I-80 the East Shore Freeway. And interestingly enough, the water is pretty much almost right alongside the freeway. There's a side road alongside I-80 in the East Bay, but you can see the water from Interstate 80 when you're in the East Bay of the SF Bay. So my point is this: the speed limit is 65 on Highway 101. But right now they're doing construction and widening lanes because we keep expanding here in the Bay Area. We've already got 4 lanes. They're going to put a 5th one in. So the speed limit now in the work zone is 55. Now, if you exceed the speed limit, if you go 5 or 10 miles over, usually they're not going to give you a ticket. They still can, right? But let's say you're going 15 or 20 miles over, and you're the fastest car on the road. There's a cop sitting there with a radar. What's going to happen? You're going to get a ticket, right? You see, when I hit the road, I always take into consideration that if I am caught speeding, I'm going to get a ticket. So what do? I don't speed. On the freeway, I might go 5 or 10 miles over if it's going with the flow of traffic. But in the residential area, if the speed limit's 25, I'm going 25, sometimes maybe 27 or 28. You can't always keep it perfect. But if you go 40 or 50 miles an hour in a 25 residential and there's a cop there, they're going to pull you over and give you a ticket because that's dangerous. You could kill someone with that amount of speed in a residential area. Most people don't think ahead. They don't think about the right now. They get in their car and they just drive like they own the road, right? Until they see sirens. And then they're like, oh shit, I must have been speeding. Must have been. Don't you look at your dash that tells you how fast you're going? When you're driving, don't you look at the sign that says speed limit 65 or 70 or 55 or whatever, or 25, right? This is what I want to help you folks understand. It will prevent a lot of the issues that you have in the future. How will that, if you get a ticket, how will that affect you in the future? Number one, your insurance rates will go up tremendously. Number two, the ticket's going to cost you like $500-600 now. Do you know how expensive tickets are? And number three, you have to go to traffic school to get off your record. But no, we're not thinking about that when we get in our cars, right? We're thinking about we own the road. Let's say you're a dude and you're taking your hot babe out, right? And you want to show off because you have a sports car. And you say, hey babe, let me show you what this thing can do. And you're in a residential and you're going 60. And next thing you know, you get pulled over by the cop. You get a ticket and you're lucky he doesn't arrest you for more than doubling the speed limit, right? Because they can't do that when you double the speed limit. It's their choice, right? Was it worth it? And why did you feel the need to show off your hot, sexy girlfriend? Because are you that insecure that you need your car to make you seem cool? Wow, you're cool, dude. Your car is what's attracting your woman, not you, right? And you're cool with that, right? People don't think about the now. Sorry, people don't think about the future. They think about the now, I mean, right? They don't think about the repercussions of their actions they take now until it's too late. Then they complain about it, right? Then they complain about it. Sound okay? I got a lot of wind here. I want to make sure this thing is holding up. Eli, don't talk about that. Don't talk about what? You're curious to know what you mean, Queen. Say hi to the lady, Eli, LOL. No, I don't want to come up like some creeper on the hiking trail. Let me tell you something, what I've learned, I'm calling you BWYA Gaming, it's Holly, hopeful and blessed. What I've learned about women is if they're interested in you and they're attracted to you, no matter where it's at, they're going to put themselves in your orbit. They're going to find a way to say, hey, what is that, right? If that chick was interested in me, she would have been curious enough to ask me, are you vlogging? Or no, I'm live on YouTube. You want to join me and get trolled? That would have probably scared her away. When women are into you, they put themselves in your orbit. Typically it's indirectly, but it's indirectly in a direct way. If they're not interested, they'll keep walking by. Now, you know, hey, I smiled at her, she smiled at me. Hey, cool, great, we're two cool people. She's not a thirsty woman, I'm not a thirsty man, meaning, you know, I'm not the kind of guy that's gonna hit on every woman, but I can acknowledge that she's beautiful, right? And I can say hi and be friendly and be a confident dude. At the same time, here's the thing. Me not going up to her and approaching her, number one, won't scare her on the hiking trail. Number two, what if I run into her again somewhere, right? And then she might say, well, you're that guy I saw on the hiking trail. How long have you lived out here, right? I just wanted to come say hi to you. I like to get to know people in my area, you know? And maybe she might say, well, you know, typically people come up to me, but I was just curious, you know, you didn't try to hit on me or anything. Like, I tell her, I don't hit on women. I'm just me. Whatever's meant to be is meant to be. All right? When you don't hit on women, that's what's attractive to them, right? Because you're not coming off as thirsty, right? Another part of this topic. Okay? What you do right now is going to affect you in the future. I'm going to wrap up this stream. I've got about another maybe 10 to 12 minutes before I go off the air. I'm getting towards the end. So get any questions, comments, or concerns in, but I'm going to wrap up this stream. Oh, wait, sorry. Excuse me. I'm going to wrap up this stream by saying this. You don't want to burn any bridges unless you absolutely have to. Let me repeat that one more time. You don't want to burn any bridges unless you absolutely have to. Same example I just gave. If I were to approach that woman right now and start talking with her, she'd think I'm some creeper, right? And even if she was single, and even if there was attraction, she'd probably say no, right? It's a weird spot, right? Now some dude with some selfie stick, right? She doesn't know me, right? But if I just smile at her, she smiles at me, we walk on past each other. Like I said, if we run into each other in the future, there's the opportunity, right? You should think more about the future in everything you do than the now. What you do now, excuse me, my halls just went down the wrong throat. Excuse me. What you do now is going to affect the future outcome of what you do now, right? How you handle it, right? In the networking world, when I used to network in person back in the days when I ran my insurance business, I used to never try to hard sell somebody into my insurance products. I would go to networking events, I would exchange business cards with people, have coffee meetings, I would get to know people. I built a network, I built relationships, right? And because I never forced people into my business, people began to know, like, and trust me. And down the road, years in the future, or a year or two down the road, and throughout the time I was an insurance broker, I got endless amounts of referrals of good business. Why? Because I got to know, like, and trust people. I became the insurance broker of choice for my network, right? I was thinking about the future and not the now, right? Because what I do now, or what I did back then initially, was going to affect me in the future, right? Your future success depends on what you do now. But again, most people don't think about that, right? Because they want instant gratification. They want to have every single little thing right now. There's a little trick I like to call, well, it's known as reverse psychology. Here's a trick for you guys if you want to get the girl. If you want to get the girl, be a good guy. Don't be a liar, right? But you want to get the girl, talk with her completely in the opposite way of how she feels most guys would talk with her or would want from her. Get to know her. Talk with her in a way where you understand what she's been through and you understand what she's seeking. Hey, I get what you've been through. You know, there are a lot of crazy guys in this world, a lot of crazy girls for that sake. I get it, right? Bond and relate, right? And I think you're cool. I like who you are. And I'd like to take the time to get to know you at a pace that both you and I feel comfortable, right? That's how I approach it, right? And initially, you don't want to overdo the conversation. The shorter, the better. Now, sometimes you're going to have longer conversations initially, whether it's by phone or in person. But if you can get her to understand where you're coming from and relate to her, and then you pull back and give her space and not come off as needy, and it's basically like reverse psychology, right? You're doing the complete opposite of what most, if not all, other men have done to try to get with her, right? So you're going to stand down in her eyes. And if you give her the time and space to figure it out by just pulling back, say, okay, I'm going to let you go. You go enjoy your night. Feel free to reach out to me anytime. I would love to talk to you more at a time that works for you, and put it in her hands. And women might say, well, how about you call me? No, a woman that wants you is going to chase you. Even if she says she wants you to call her, if she wants you, she'll reach out to you. And then you just keep going on with your life. And if she reaches out to you, then that's great. But give yourself the best possible chance by handling the situation the right way initially. Think about, the future when it comes to actions you take right now. All right, I've got some people coming in on the trail. I'm about to head back out to my car. I feel so good today. I feel amazing. All right. A lot of people coming in. I'm just going to show you the beauty here, folks. See those apartments over there? That's the view they have. It's beautiful view to have, getting up every morning and having your coffee. All right, folks, we are at, what is it? Is that 80 minutes? I think it is. I can barely see it here. Give me a second. Yeah, we're an hour and 20 minutes. That's pretty quick. I did the 3+ miles pretty quickly. Wow, Jesus Christ. Lots of people coming in, just trying to give them some space. It is very, very windy here. Is this thing hanging on? Queen, Holly, hopeful, and blessed. Thank you for visiting Bar Island. Still good. I don't want to hear about the third leg. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about, Queen. What's the third leg? Can you be more specific? Be going off the air in about 5 to 7 minutes, folks. Maybe a little bit sooner. I'm heading back to the car right now. Hope you enjoyed the show. Like I said, in a few hours, coming up from the studio, I'm going to be doing a stream where I'm going to be showing a profile of a 40-year-old woman, single, never been married, no kids. Super sexy. Like, I'm not going to lie. I mean, she's gorgeous, right? Single, never been married, no kids. You know, has her own stuff. But she's on a dating site, still trying to find the one. For a woman that is extremely attractive, has a good career, independent, and is single, never been married, with no kids, but says still wants kids in her profile at age 40, which women can still have kids in their 40s. It's just a little harder, right? A little more risky, but it's still possible, right? That's telling me that this woman's repelled a lot of men her entire adult life, or maybe back even from the days of her being a teenager, based on her behavior and her actions and how she sees the world and sees herself and how she treats other people. Like I said at the beginning of the show, Queen, if you're around, Queen, later tonight, and Holly, hopeful, and blessed, or anyone else, when you see this profile, now, Queen, you're gonna agree with a lot of what she says, because she speaks your language. But at least, Queen, like I said at the beginning of the show, you're one that owns who you are, and you're not interested in dating at this point in your life. So I respect that. With this woman, she wants to find a high-value man, and putting herself out there in that way, no matter how hot she is, she's hot. You're going to see it. She's hot. I'm going to show you. I took one look at that. I read that profile, and I said, ma'am, you're not getting any of my attention. I probably wouldn't get yours, too. I'm keeping it real. But I'm going to use you for content. This is good. It's that good. Yes, that's a nice trail walk. Always enjoy that one. Are you talking about the one that I do here at Bar Island? Bar Island, Don Edwards, SF Bay National Wildlife Refuge. Bar Island public parking hours, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. 4-hour parking. No overnight parking. Vehicles will be cited or towed at owner's expense. That's because there are lots of apartments here, and they don't want this used for apartment parking. But I think people still use it for apartment parking. And I don't think they really enforce it, to be honest with you. But they have to put those signs there because there needs to be parking for people to come out here and enjoy the trail. This was put in. This parking lot here is owned. I don't think it's owned by the. I think it's owned by the city, not the state. It's the Asset Bay Trail, so it's probably owned by the city. Some government agency owns it. It's not owned by the complexes. It's for public usage. So they don't want the lots to, be crowded to the point of where, people that are visiting the trail have nowhere to park. All right. Yes, says Holly. Okay. All right, folks, we're at 86 minutes. I want to thank you all for being here. I'm assuming right now it's probably around, Holly and Queen, what time is it? Is it shortly after 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific? It should be probably about 7:15 or 7:20 Eastern, 4:15 or 4:20 Pacific. I'm assuming it's 7:15, 7:20 Eastern, 4:15, 4:20 Pacific. 7:14. Wow. Well, I took the amount of time the stream lasted, plus I started a little bit late. Great. Thank you, ladies. I appreciate you. Thank you for taking care of the chat. I'm going to get on out of here, folks. Do not miss this stream tonight. If you can make it live and engaged, that would be great. If not, definitely check out the replay later tonight or tomorrow when you can, because you're going to want to see this profile from this 40-year-old sexy woman. Single, never been married, no kids. And she still wants kids at age 40. And after 40 years looking that good and having a good job and all that, you still don't have a kid and you're single and never been married, you folks are going to see why. And after 40 years, she still hasn't figured it out. Maybe she never will. All right, folks, have yourselves a great one. I'll see you all from the studio in a few hours. Take care. Bye-bye. We're out. Peace out. Peace out. Peace out.